get back to work. Stop hearing yourself talk. Get off the podcast. Don't be on social media too much. Cut out all the noise. Get back to the mental lab.
Don't let what you can't do in the moment interfere with what you know you can do.
You have to have no fear. You have to have no fear. You have to believe in who you are and what you do, and just go get it.
At the end of every day, you look yourself in the mirror and you ask yourself, did I get better today? If the answer is yes, and you do that for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, how much better are you going to be? And that's basketball, that's whether it's football, that doesn't matter. Are you getting better every single day?
Get control. Stop scrolling, stop clicking, and start living.
I'm not like everybody else. I don't want to be like everybody else. I have something inside which is burning.
You do realize that this could be the year that you change your life if you just lock in? A whole 365 days ago, day in and day out towards your goals with no distractions. We ain't hearing the excuses no more. Your future is tied to that. Lock in and change your life. Like your life depends on it. Because it do.
Today, I'm gonna get on the path of success. I don't care how long that road is. I'm gonna see it through no matter what, because you know what? I've been living enough years in this shithole, I don't wanna be here anymore.
What would have to happen by the end of 2026 for me to look back on 2026 and consider it a success? So, first rule, in order to pick something up, you have to put something down.
Through discipline, through self-discipline, through repetition, through tons of repetition of the same thing that you don't want to do, you develop like an armor for your mind.
When you're going through something really challenging, how do you show up within it? Do you choose to become a victim of complaining and misery and shitty, or do you find meaning in how you show up in the suffering?
The fact that something seems impossible shouldn't be a reason to not pursue it. That's exactly what makes it worth pursuing. Where would the courage and greatness be if success was certain and there was no risk? The only true failure is shrinking away from life's challenges.
This is when I realized I was alone on this earth. I have God alone on this earth, and I have to fix everything. So this is where I started to develop an indestructible mental toolbox.
Okay.
So I looked in this one guy's eyes who was ringing the bell to quit, to put his helmet down out of Navy SEAL training, and I saw myself. And I saw what everybody said I was going to be, which was nothing.
The fact of the matter is if you want to be good, you really don't have a lot of choices, because it takes what it takes. You have to do what you have to do to be successful. So you have to make the choices and decisions to have the discipline and the focus to the process of what you need to do to accomplish your goals.
You know where you want to go. You need your compelling future. You need to keep pushing forward, and you can't expect others to get your dreams, because they weren't downloaded in them. They were downloaded in you.
If you're too scared to show up and you sit back at home, wondering what if and everything else, no one in hell is going to call you an opportunity, because you weren't present. The winners always show up. They're willing to lose in order to gain. Big mental thing there, guys. This body, as great as you are, as sharp as you make the arsenal, it can't do anything if you don't have confidence in yourself. We all fall down in life. The question is, who gets back up? You go after and you give it all you have. If you lose, at least you tried, man. I failed. It's 10 times more of a man than someone said, what if? Because what if never went to the arena.
Life rewards action, not intelligence. It took me a few years growing up to really learn this. I think the smarter you are, the better your excuses. The more accomplished you are in talking yourself out of taking action, in proving to yourself that every action that you could take is too small, too meaningless, and not worth it.
You decide exactly what you want, and then you start to think. Now you're going to have thoughts come to your mind of why you can't get it. Mm-hmm. You have the ability in your conscious mind to reject that idea, kick it out of your mind. Thinking of why you can't do something is never going to do you any good. And keep thinking until you start to think of thoughts of how you can do it. And the way will be shown to you. It comes in the form of images in our mind. Think of how you can and not why you can't.
Everything is determined by what you do and you trying to be your best, so that you can build on positive performance. And that's the only thing. There should be nothing else.
You don't become confident by shouting affirmations in the mirror, but by having a stack of undeniable proof that you are who you say you are. outwork your self-doubt.
But maybe you could get what would really be good for you. Well, why don't you? Well, because you don't try. You don't think, okay, imagine that you were taking care of yourself like you were someone you actually cared for. And then you thought, okay, I'm caring for this person. I would like things to go as well for them as possible. What would their life have to be like in order for that to be the case? Well, people don't do that. They don't sit down and think, all right, let's figure it out. You've got a life. It's hard, obviously. It's like 3 years from now, you can have what you need. You got to be careful about it. You can't have everything. You can have what would be good for you, but you have to figure out what it is, and then you have to aim at it.
Get the coffee, make the pancakes, kiss the girl, kiss the kids. You wake up, right to work.
Whenever I get to a low point where I think, why do I even bother? I just remind myself, this is where most people stop, and this is why they don't win. And this relates to another one, which is a reminder for the gladiators in the arena who feel beat up and scarred with no hope in sight. Building a business is hard. Hard feels shitty. This is what hard feels like. And this is why most people can't do it. But you can.
Right now in life, your family's looking for that one guy right now. They're looking for that one guy who's strong, who's that pillar for the family in hard times. Make sure they look around and find you.
Some of y'all are motivated by broke. I'm broke, I'm stuck, I'm fucked up, I can't do nothing. Some of y'all are motivated by just wanting to accomplish the things that you want to accomplish. Other folks are motivated by materialistic things. It's a very simple concept. If you want it, you gotta go get it.
What else you gonna do, man? Sit around and do nothing, be nothing, contribute to nothing, become nothing, build nothing? Because that's the other alternative. I'm just not willing to accept that as my reality.
Remember, it's not what you have, but what you do with what you have that separates winners from losers. It's not what happens to you, but how you respond to what happens to you that counts.
If you quit, it's really easy to predict your future. But if you don't quit, if you go for it, with no proof, you can't quantify it. People are going to call you crazy. Your friends are going to look at you sideways. But you'll have the opportunity to play in the game and stop sitting on the sidelines. And you might fail for a while. And you might have to pay your success tax. And you might have to go through 7 failures, 9 failures, 12 failures. You might be sleepless at night wondering why the heck you're doing it. But on the other side of that, you get to see who you're meant to be, who God designed you to be, and tap into your full potential, and there's nothing better.
There comes a day where being average, being mediocre is just sickening to you because you've seen people with far less talent than you. As you're growing up with them, their childhood buddies, whatever else, they didn't have what you had. Yet now they're going to become something that you haven't. There comes that day. It's either when you're young, and it strikes you on the baseball field because you're sick of striking out, or it's when you get fired from your 5th job, and your wife and kids are on your ass because you don't know how to support them anymore. There comes a day where push comes to shove, where being mediocre and being like average and shit just burns. It sucks so much. You can't deal with it one more day, and you get off your ass and you create something that's always been there.
One time, I was running by a graveyard when I was just trying to I was fat. And I ran by a graveyard. And I look out there, I'm like, man, I wonder how many of you motherfuckers in there are so upset with how you lived your life. Now I'm running a 300-pound man thinking, man, don't die like this, bro.
At the end of every day, you look yourself in the mirror and you ask yourself, did I get better today? If the answer is yes, and you do that for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, how much better are you going to be?
It's 2 a.m. right now. No one here. Mano to mano, me and you, and where we want to go tomorrow. 2 a.m. What I love about 2 a.m. is that we're not living by the clock, man. If you get the clock says it's 10 o'clock time to go to sleep, or 9 to 5 time to go to work, that's bullshit. If you're in bed right now, and you're rolling around, you can't fall asleep, get the f*** up. It probably means you haven't done an honest day's work to earn that rest at night. 2 a.m., not a f***ing person's here.
Don't be mad. When you're laying there in your bed and you're in the hospital and you're 70, 80, 90 years old and you're thinking, man, I feel like I didn't do something. Because you did. You didn't do it. You didn't do shit.
Starving rats are placed into a tube.
Yeah.
And they have a spring that is attached to their tail that can measure the force that they pull at, and that's a proxy for desire. Then they waft the smell of cheese in from the front of the tube, and the rat pulls and they measure how hard they want to go. And you think, these rats are starving, they would be pulling pretty hard. Then they do another iteration of the study. This time they waft the smell of cheese in from the front, but they waft the smell of a cat in from behind. And the rats pull harder.
Yeah.
And what's the lesson? That you not only need to run towards something that you want,
yeah,
but you need to run away from something that you fear.
Time to become a man. Walk forward, peripheral vision, get it. Own yourself, walk forward with more courage, and start becoming the man you want to be instead of acting like it and putting it off.
I truly believe we are all equal as human beings. If we are obsessed with something and we truly pursue our passion with everything we have, regardless of anything else, if you are obsessed, work hard, put in the time, you will succeed. And that is a philosophy that I carry, my coaches carry, and this is hard work. This is an obsession. Nothing can beat hard work.
The easiest thing in life is to give up on whatever you're focused on or whatever you're hopeful for. The hardest thing is to continue to keep going, but we have to.
You can do two things. You can run and hide, curl up in a ball, and let the world just beat you to death, or you can dig your heels in. You figure out how to, you have to figure out yourself, and then you dig in and you fight. I literally, the day we got back from Mexico, I had a quote installed on my wall. It says, "May God have mercy upon my enemies, because I won't." So let's go.
There's people out there that are just working harder than everybody else, and they're gonna keep doing it.
Yeah.
And that's their grind.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be crazy enough to think that it's possible. That's how you do something worthwhile. That's how you beat the odds. You have to believe it's possible. And when you believe something is possible, everything else will figure itself out.
Normal people get normal results. Weird people get weird results. You literally can't do what everyone else does and not expect to get what everyone else has. By doing what everyone else does, you guarantee average results.
You get up. You don't want to go run, you go run. You don't want to go swim, you go swim. You don't want to make your bed, you make your bed.
Most of the limitations we have do not exist in reality. They exist only in your own mind. And one of the starting points of great achievement is to start questioning those self-limiting beliefs and throw them off and act as if they did not exist.
To be successful at anything, the truth is you don't have to be special. You just have to be what most people aren't. Consistent, determined, and willing to work for it. No shortcuts. If you look at all my teammates here tonight, it would be impossible to find better examples of men who embody that work ethic, integrity, purpose, determination, and discipline that it takes to be a champion in life.
At the end of every day, you look yourself in the mirror and you ask yourself, did I get better today? If the answer is yes, and you do that for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, how much better are you going to be? Are you getting better every single day? That's the question.
Is this going to make me better? No. It goes. Is this going to help my life? No. It goes. Is this going to create a brighter future for those around me? No. It goes. And it's simple as that.
It's hard when you're young to wake up in the off season at 6 a.m. to go train and work out, knowing that all your friends are sleeping in and eating pancakes. It's hard when you're on your way to practice, weighed down with all your gear, and it's 90 degrees out and all the other kids are at the pool or at the beach, and your body is already completely exhausted from workouts in 2-a-days. It's hard to throw, catch, block, and tackle, and hit kids when they're way bigger and way more developed than you, only to go home that night bruised and battered and strained, but knowing you have to show up again the next day for just the chance to try again.
You need to get on it. You need to be in here every day. You're almost out of time. You're 22, you're late.
It's a man's game tonight now, you know that. It's a man's game tonight. Here we come. Here we come. It's a man's game now.
I believe so much in myself and I have a bulletproof mind. And when I go out there, I know what I'm able to do. And I do it good.
It's pushing the water and there's a jogger actually. Look at this. Wow. It's a Florida man right there for you, Blake, jogging in the hurricane.
If you pan it down here, you see it's about 3 o'clock in the morning and there's not a car or a person in sight. If you pan over here, it's the same thing. Not a car or a person in sight.
People call it arrogant, I call it confidence. Ignorant people call it arrogant, intelligent people call it confidence.
There are no solutions, only trade-offs. What's that mean to you?
That you're never going to completely solve anything in your life or in the world, and there's always going to be compromises that you have to make. And if you aren't willing to make those compromises, or you don't keep your mind open for those compromises, you're going to run into some real problems. But if you look at it and the fact that you know you might put a little more effort over here, and it's going to take away from some effort over there, you can't just do everything at once. So yeah, no solutions, only trade-offs.
We have no Great War, no Great Depression. Our Great War is a spiritual war. Our Great Depression is our lives.
I can't. You can't? Are you f***ing kidding me? You just said I can't? Like, I want to bitch slap that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I can't. I don't have time for people that are weak and they say I can't. No, you can. You will.
You gotta look at things and say, like at a certain point, like eliminate the outcome. Stop being driven by rewards. Yeah. Stop being driven by outcome. Stop being driven by, if I get this, I'm gonna do this. Just work. And if you don't get what you thought you were gonna get, show up and still go to work. Because along the process, what's more important, what you acquire or who you become?
Yeah, that's big.
And a lot of people think what they acquire is the thing that makes them who they are. No, it's who you become in the process of chasing what you want to acquire, right? Change expectation for appreciation. Extract the lessons and the blessings from the situations that didn't turn out the way you wanted them to turn out. But most importantly, man, approach it and eliminate the outcome, right? Just go for it, work.
This is why most people never get anywhere. Most people are incapable of picking a direction and going.
Just going.
They observe the possibilities. They get paralyzed by all the possibilities. They refuse to move forward on all the possibilities, and then time passes them by. So it's very important that you make a decision and you go down that path. You commit to that path with the mentality of having zero options. I don't have a choice but to see this through, okay? If I don't see this through, I'm gonna be digging ditches. That's what I tell myself. When I don't wanna come here and I don't wanna do this and I get tired of, doing what I do, which happens to everybody. You go through ups and downs. I pretend like I have zero options. I say, well, if I don't do this, bro, I'm gonna be digging ditches, so I better show the fuck up and get it done. And that might sound ridiculous to you because that's not the truth anymore, but I still tell myself that, and that's how I operate. So you have to pick something and then you have to commit to it for as long as that's going to take to make sure that you see it through.
Most of the reason that we're afraid to fail is because we're afraid of dying in an abstract reality. We think, oh, we catastrophize. Okay, I'll lose my job and then no one will like me and then I won't be able to get a job again and then I'll be homeless and then I'll die. Like it's just, right? Like that's how we go, right? But when I thought through, I was like, what would actually happen? So if I went there and I failed, what would I do? I was like, well, I'd apply to business school and I'd have this cool story, and they like entrepreneurs. They're people who tried to do things. Mm-hmm. So this would be fine. This would be okay. And I have plenty of friends who would let me sleep on the couch if I had to. I could go back to mom and dad's house with my tail between my legs, which I felt that was honestly the most horrifying thing that I could imagine, going back home as a failure. Yes. But the idea, the one that got me out of it was, I can always get the job back. Mm-hmm. So like, this is actually a significantly lower risk move than I'm perceiving it to be. I can get the job back, or I can get another job that's comparable. Right. I have the experience, and me doing all this stuff only makes me more valuable because I'll have a cooler story than somebody who just did 4 years of this job rather than 2, and then did 2 years of things on their own. Mm-hmm. And so that was the one argument. The secondary argument was, for me, I was young at the time. I was like, this is extremely hard to do. If you say, because I used to always tell people like, yeah, and I'd like to own my own business someday. Like, it's almost like you like tag it on to like, what do you do now? And I'd like to, and so I thought to myself, if it's this hard now, when I have no kids, I have no wife, I have no stakes, it's going to be nearly impossible for me to do later. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, I have to do it now.
Do you think Michael Jordan was just interested in winning championships? You think Kobe Bryant was just interested in basketball? You think Jeff Bezos was just interested in shipping packages? You think Elon Musk is just interested in whatever the hell he's interested in today? Those individuals are obsessed. They are obsessed. In order to be the best, in order to reach that next level, you can no longer be interested. Interested is a hobby. You can be interested in many things. Oh, I'm interested in reading. I'm interested in gardening. I'm interested in cars. You can fall in and out of your interest. But your obsession stays with you all the time. You have to become obsessed.
I'm a loner, look at me. There's nobody around me. Nobody likes me, man. It is what it is. Sometimes in life, people are not gonna be around you to motivate you. They're not gonna be around you to push you, to celebrate you, to applaud you. You gotta do it on your own. That's what I'm doing right now.
Champions do daily what everybody do occasionally. Everybody else does. You just do it daily. You're not.
Yeah, we do.
You're not extraordinary. You just do the ordinary extra. That's it. You. That's what makes you, separates you.
Thing that we all have, everyone has, and not just me. I mean, everybody that does anything has, and it's like this voice in your head that wants you to do nothing. This voice in your head, you have to decide that you are a professional. This is what a professional does. A professional goes to work and they give in to the muse. Okay, the concept of the muse. You settle in and receive creativity almost like as a divine gift from this magical entity, the muse. Now, whether or not it's real is not important. What's important is if you treat it as if it's real, it does work.